Please introduce yourself. Tell me your name, your age, and your civil status.
Okay, I'm Melody Cass. I'm 34 years old and I'm single.
Do you have children?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. You want to have children?
Sure.
Okay. Tell me please about your working experience.
Okay, I've been teaching English as a second language for 11 years, and my students consist mainly Koreans, some are Japanese, and sometimes there are students from Laos. So I would go to the Embassy of Laos in the Philippines and teach English to some students. So it's all in informal setting. Yes, and my students level are my students age range from very beginner like around 5 years old until 5 years old to 64 years old.
Okay. Tell me please about your responsibilities as a teacher and how old was the children you took care of?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that very well. You were asking me to tell you my responsibility
Yes.
as
As a teacher,
okay.
and the age of the children.
Oh, right. Yes. It's kind of different when we teach kids because when it's like this, when we teach adult students, we help them practice speaking. But when we teach kids, yeah, we also help them practice speaking, but we use different visuals, songs, anything that could stimulate the students to participate in the discussion. Or actually there is no discussion when you teach kids, but activities. We use activities that would encourage them to learn words or expressions that are words, expressions, and anything that could be useful in conversation. Yes, and when we teach kids, we don't really have to do it like in informal. We don't have to teach them like how we do it in formal school or formal setting. It's all different. We have to be animated. We have to be very encouraging, and most of all, we have to be very patient.
Okay. Do you have any other experience?
Yes, I told you my experience consists mainly teaching English as a second language, and in some of those companies, I just had some position. Like I was in one of those companies. I was one of the team leaders, and then later on, I became the managing director. Yeah, so it's all in teaching.
Okay. You work abroad?
I haven't.
Okay. Tell me please, is it okay for you if you come in Romania and work in the house as a nanny teacher? Is it okay for you? And make some household chores, easy household chores, when the baby is in the school or when the baby is sleeping, to make some cleaning in the house. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, it's all right. Actually, sometimes I would experience that when some Korean kids are here for camp, English camp, so we would stay with them, or sometimes I would stay at my students' house when they request. So yeah, it's all right.
What kind of games you play with a 4 years old baby?
4-year-old.
Yes.
Sorry, 4-year-old kid.
4 years old baby.
For
Tell me.
yeah, for a 4-year-old. Sorry.
Tell me, please. I'm listening.
Yeah, sorry. You were asking the game that I could play with a 4-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they are more on visuals, so maybe shapes and colors. Any game that includes shapes and colors, and then some private memory song that also includes shapes and colors and then numbers.
Okay. What do you do if the child is starting to paint the walls? How do you stop him?
Okay. Well, first, of course, I would approach the kid. If he's already banging the floor, I would go right away and then stop the kid from banging. But after that, I would you know um, take the kid away from the wall and then ask him why he does it, or try to talk to him and calm the kid as much as possible.
Okay.
And then maybe I would show him, like, if I continue doing that, like if I keep on banging my head on the wall, it would hurt. And I would try to convince.
Very nice. How do you convince a child to eat if he doesn't want to do this?
Well, yeah, it's very common. If the kid doesn't want to eat, probably of course, I have my portion of food and then show him how delicious the food is, and then try to talk to him until I convince the kid to eat. First, I show him how delicious the food is.
Okay.
Or yeah, and in some cases, tricks or games could also convince them to eat it.
Okay. The child does not want to leave playground and get into the house. How do you proceed in such a situation?
All right. Well, of course, you don't have to convince him. Like, it has to be now. That wouldn't work because basically he doesn't want to leave the playground. So, if there's some more time, try to play with him a little, and then try to think of any game or trick that would make him leave the playground. Like, we could play hide and seek, or we could play anything that would really lead to going back home.
Okay. The child wants to look at the cartoons more than has been prescribed. How do you react?
All right. First, you really have to tell the kid that it's beyond beyond the prescribed watching time, or yeah, it's beyond the limit, and then find other interesting, anything that would that would be interesting. That would also be interesting for the kid. Yeah, but he has to know that he's watching beyond the limit.
Okay. The child cries without stopping. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's kind of tough. Because as much as I understand, some kids would cry a lot and they throw tantrums. So you have to know whether are they crying because they are very tired because of the night, or because they want something else. So try to find out first, and then probably it's easier to calm the child from playing.
Okay. Only in your presence the child refused to submit to the rules established by his parents. What are you doing in such a case?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Only in your presence the child refused to submit to the rules established by his parents. What are you doing in such a case?
Okay. I think I'd better be observant. See how the child's parents carry out or implement those rules. So I think if the parents are very kind of friendly to the kid in order to implement that rules or those rules, then I think it's better if I do the same. I try to act like not as strict as parents, but like friends, try to give the child a friendly ambience so that it would be easier for the kid to follow the rules. Not in a way that I'm kind of insisting, but because these are the rules that he has to follow. But I don't have to insist.
Okay. Let's say you are alone in the house in Romania and the child has high fever, vomits, and bad physical condition. How do you handle in this situation?
Okay. First, if there's fever, I have to check the temperature, and if there's any guideline that the parents have told me beforehand, then I would go by the rules, by the guidelines that the parents give, and then I call the parents right away to let them know about the situation.
Okay. What do you think is the most difficult part of being a teacher nanny?
The most difficult part of being a teacher is when the kid is not really interested to learn. It's very, very difficult until you haven't found the way to keep him interested.
Yes. Okay. What was the most difficult experience you had with a child?
Now I'm thinking maybe when the kid didn't understand, because I had this experience. The kid was around 5 years old, so that was only 4 years old in Korea. So he was a very, very beginner. Um, it was his mom who wanted him to learn English. So the kid had no interest, and to add to that, he doesn't understand English at all. So it's very difficult how to impart the lesson, how to begin with, because, the kid has zero knowledge in English.
Okay. If you come in Romania and your day off will be in the middle of the week, is it okay for you?
But it's all right, I think.
And if the if the employers need you in your day off and you will get paid for this, is it okay for you to work in your day off?
Yeah. Okay.
How are you planning to spend your day off?
Of course, I wanna do my favorite, go walking around the place, see beautiful places, just to relax and meet some friends if there are any.
Okay. How long would you like to stay here in Romania and why do you want to come here in Romania?
Basically, I want to go there because I needed fun and I want to experience. I want to learn new language. I want to be in a new environment. I want to see new people, new places. And, I don't know how long I want to stay, but of course, as long as I'm fine, then I'd be more than willing to stay.
The contract for the beginning is for 2 years. If you want, you can renew it. Also, if the employers want, is it okay for you to renew your contract after 3 years?
Is that 2 years?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, is it 2 years?
Yes, the contract for the beginning is for 2 years. If you want to renew it, also your employers wants to renew the contract, you can renew it for another 3 years.
All right.
Tell me please, have you ever been abused in your life, physical abused?
Oh, never.
Okay. And if you have to choose to live in another country except Canada and USA, where would you like to live?
Of course, I want to live in some of those European countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, Finland, Sweden, Switzerland,
Okay.
and other countries out of Europe, New Zealand and Australia.
Okay. Thank you very much.